Morning, brethren. We return this morning to the book of Galatians, and we want to think upon what Paul says in Galatians 6 and verse 7. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. This time of the year is, for me, a lovely time of the year, the springtime. It means that I'm able to get out into the garden at the back of the manse and to sow seeds, sow plants, and it's always wonderful as the days and weeks pass to see those plants or those seeds beginning to grow and to become stronger. Maybe the little seeds that I've planted out in a seed tray get to the stage where you're able to prick them out and put them into a pot, and then when they get stronger again, you're able to take them out of the pot and put them into the ground. And it's a joy to be able to grow things like, vegetables and fruits like strawberries and raspberries, to have cauliflowers and cabbages and all those sorts of things in one's garden. If I was to plant seeds like, for example, cabbage or cauliflower, that's what I would expect those seeds to produce. It would be foolish of me to plant a cabbage seed in seed trays and expect at the end of the growing period to get strawberries from them. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in nature. You ultimately get what you sow. And here the Apostle Paul takes that principle that is so obvious in nature and he applies it to the spiritual realm. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. He goes on to say, if he sows to the flesh, he'll reap of the flesh. If he sows to the Spirit, he'll reap of the Spirit. But here's the principle. You reap what you sow. The sort of life that you live will ultimately produce fruit. And that fruit will be equivalent to the type of life that you're living. In other words, if you give very, very little time to God, you can hardly expect to reap spiritual benefits in your life. If you're giving all your time to your business, well, your business may prosper, but the reality is your family may suffer. If you give yourself to taking lots and lots of alcohol and abusing yourself with alcohol, well, one thing's for sure, if you keep doing that down the line, you're going to have probably organ failure. You're going to kill yourself. Likewise, if you decide you're going to smoke, you can be sure that in the vast majority of cases, those who do so will reap the consequences of that. Breathlessness, maybe even cancer of the lungs. This is a principle, brethren, that runs throughout the whole of life. A man reaps whatever he sows. A man who's unfaithful to his wife will reap the consequences of that. His sin will ultimately find him out. His relationship with his wife will not be what it ought to be, and the so-called relationship that he has with the woman with whom he's having an affair or committing adultery, as the Bible calls it, that relationship will not be good either. A man reaps what he sows. That being the case, should we not be sowing for the benefit of our souls? If we sow by spending time reading God's Word, will that not benefit our lives? Of course it will. If we sow prayer, spending time in prayer with God, surely that will bring us closer to God. Of course it will. And of course, if we go out with the gospel, and if we sow the seed of the gospel, in other words, if we witness to people around us in our families, our friends, people we work with, well, in all likelihood, in time, we will reap if we do not give up. And what we will reap is to see the joy of some of those people coming to faith in Jesus Christ. Don't be deceived. God can't be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Brethren, let us be careful about how we sow and what we're sowing in our day-to-day lives. Every blessing today.